I don't get the whole Josh McDaniels thing personally.
Yeah, but he's cool. He's lit. He's happening.
Is he lit? I mean, he's lit under Belichick with Brady.
Joey Taylor with the news.
No.
Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
I actually don't think Josh McDaniels goes anywhere.
I don't know. That's why it surprised me.
I mean, look, he had an opportunity to coach Andrew Luck.
I would not have backed out.
And backed out of that.
That job now is...
Right. I mean, look at that job now. And he backed out of that to stay with the Patriots. So now he's going to leave the Patriots and go...
Sometimes, you know, it's funny about that. Sometimes when I see people pass on jobs, like you ever met somebody and you're like, you meet a guy and you're like, boy, he's good. Then you meet his wife and she's a crazy person, or vice versa, and you think less of them. Like you meet a woman and you're like, oh, she is. And then you meet her husband and you're like, he's a jerk. I don't know who crazy. Josh McDaniels passed on the Colts job with Chris Ballard and Andrew Luck. I'm starting to wonder if Josh McDaniels is all that.
Well, I mean, it's not like he passed on them to go to Jacksonville.
No,
like
but
he passed on them to stay with Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Who's 40?
Okay, but maybe he has some guarantees from the owner there that made him feel like he should stay there.
He's going to guarantee Tom turns 28?
No, maybe, when Belichick moves on and if he stays there, that, he's next in line.
That Colts opening last year will be the best opening in this league for a decade.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying that's why I don't see him moving on to go to the Packers, because how does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we've discussed the MVP race at length, but we haven't talked much about the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Who would be your Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah. My Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
I can't give it to a lineman?
No. I mean, most people are giving it to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I'd get...
Which seems like a
Baker Mayfield.
Answer. Baker Mayfield has come up in the conversation, and it might seem crazy to a lot of people.
I would say... Lamar's 6-1, but he doesn't have the volume of work. I'm okay with anybody. I mean, Lamar.
You would be okay with Baker?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I'll send a congratulatory tweet if he gets...
Really?
Yeah.
I think Saquon is going to win it just based off of the numbers, but when you really look at the impact, I think that Baker actually deserves it.
Yeah, Baker's best games, they won. Saquon's best games, they didn't necessarily win. So impact, I give it to Baker.
Well, they went from 0-16 to 7-8-1.
That's right.
With Saquon, they only improved 2 games.
Yes,
so I think that while Saquon has been had an amazing season and put up great numbers, I think the impact that you have on the team should play into...
Well, that's why it's called valuable.
Right.
Like Baker was more valuable than Saquon.
Dak won it over Zeke. Yeah. And you could definitely argue that Zeke is more valuable, but Dak has a bigger impact because of and it has a lot to do with the position that you play.
I think Baker, I would send him a congratulatory tweet.
That's big of you.
Gigantic of me.
Is that part of your personal change? Your personal changes are being nicer to Nick Wright when he comes on.
And be nicer.
Be nicer to LeBron James.
Yeah, because
you're not nice.
Rough on him and nice. By the way, Baker Mayfield, you are welcome on this. He came on. I've told you before. I don't think he's a bad guy.
He came on and he gave you a hoodie.
Yeah. I think he's a little bit of nonsense for me, but likability, fun. I'd bring him on. I'd give him an hour.
You know what? I know everyone thinks that you two hate each other, but I'm going to let you in a little secret. Baker gets it.
And
he knows the thing between you two works.
And I thought he was one of my favorite guests of all time.
Yeah, he was great.
He was great.
So retail therapy appears to be the answer for Antonio Brown amongst all of the conversation about him. There's a lot of drama between him and the Steelers, and TMZ says that Antonio Baker treated himself to a 6.5 carat goat ring from celebrity favorite Gabriel the Jeweler.
That is ridiculous.
That's not all. As Mike Tomlin was answering questions this morning, he thought that Brown quit on the Steelers, Antonio tweeted this: "My options may seem limited by people or circumstances. It is then that I remind myself that I am in command of my attitude. I am divinely blessed with free will. I utilize that gift, choosing to take charge of my life, to express creativity, vitality, and wholeness that truly define me."
Oh, boy.
Not exactly sure what that means.
That sounds a lot of, stuff.
That's a very blingy ring.
I got to be honest with you.
Could he pull that off?
Could he pull it off?
Could you pull that off?
Could I pull that off? I don't even wear a wedding ring. I lost at surfing. It was
I don't know what I would do if you came in with a goat ring on. It would be respect, though. I do have to say, though, Antonio Brown is not even in the conversation for the greatest receiver of all time.
No.
You have to have multiple Super Bowl rings.
Well, you
have to have one.
We
Super
got a
Bowl
guy
ring.
playing right now named Larry Fitzgerald, who's in a top 5. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald's one of the greatest players of all time.
Yes, he's in the conversation too, but I still can't give it to him because you need multiple Super Bowls.
Right.
I mean, Jerry Rice is still up there. So Kawhi Leonard was in MVP form. Speaking of MVP, last night against the Jazz, he had a career high 45 points in Toronto's 122-116 win.
Yeah.
Which seems fitting considering his next opponent is Greg Popovich and the Spurs.
Yeah.
Look at those little baby dinosaurs go.
Yeah.
Second in the East.
Okay. Listen, Kawhi Leonard has an odd personality. Can I throw something out here?
Mm-hmm.
I do not. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to put it out there.
Okay.
Okay. So are we rolling tape on this thing?
I think we're live, yeah.
We need to create another meter. I am told Kawhi Leonard, strong lean to the Clippers. And it is not a marginal lean. It is a people in the league, executives in the league believe this to be true. That he wants to come to Los Angeles. He's from here. He does not want to be LeBron's valet. He is not interested in that.
I can't see Kawhi and LeBron playing together anyway. No. It just doesn't.
By the way,
it's not a fit.
And it's perfect. They're the number 2 brand in town.
Right.
He's not interested in being valet for LeBron. He is interested in coming home. I am told there is the Anthony Davis to the Lakers is a real thing. We told you 2 weeks ago. And then the day after we told you, it started surfacing. I am told Kawhi to the Clippers is equally strong, and there is a belief among executives that it's a 60-40 or more lean right now.
Well, it's going to be the sports capital of the universe.
Breaking news and stuff.
Yeah, Big J journalism.
Big J journalism. All right, is Joy done? Are you done? All right, Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Let's get a close camera shot on this if we could. Our director, I just want to, it doesn't come off very good. It doesn't come off. One more.
The highlighter's a little tough.
Highlighter's pretty weak today.
There you
watch
go.
that. It's what's called a Big J. It's for journalism. Kawhi Leonard to the Clippers. Heard it here first. All right. We got Rob Parker coming up. He is going to just hammer a team that most of America likes. He doesn't buy him for a second, and he's calling for an upset. But first, I'm your stockbroker. I provide tips and insight. Buy, sell, or hold.
Time to buy, sell, or hold.
I'd buy that for $1.
Colin will decide if he'll buy it, sell,
I want you to sell.
or hold.
Please hold. Buy, sell, or hold. Dak Prescott and Jared Goff will not win a playoff game.
All right, both quarterbacks, Jared Goff and Dak, host a playoff game. Both the Rams and the Cowboys were 7-1 at home this year, and both quarterbacks are tough to beat when their running backs rush for over 100 yards. Both the Rams and Dallas are rested and healthy at the perfect time of the year. John?
Sell.
Dallas is going to win a playoff game, 1, and the Rams are going to win a playoff game, 1 and maybe 2.
Buy, sell, or hold. Andrew Luck will win more playoff games than Dak Prescott this year.
Right now, the hottest team in the league is the Colts, but they have to go on the road to Houston. Now, I think I'll take them to win that game narrowly. I think it's very difficult when you ask a team to not only beat a team twice in a month, but do it on the road at their place. So I don't feel strongly about the Colts winning, although I would take Indy in 2.5 points. But even if they win, they would face number 1 Kansas City on the road next. And I think dome teams get into certain comforts. You take them into the heat of a Miami down in Jacksonville, and the Colts kind of died. And you put them in the cold of Kansas City, and I think they would die. So, John.
Sell.
Yeah, Andrew Luck's going to win a playoff game, maybe, but not 2.
Buy, sell, or hold. Tom Brady and the Patriots will appear in their 8th straight AFC championship.
All they have to do is win 1 playoff game. Remember, they have a bye this weekend. They were undefeated at home, and there's a good chance they could face the kind of team that they would match up well against. Here's the thing about New England that is not getting press, is that New England's defense has been outstanding in the last 4 to 5 weeks. Remember, if Gronk could tackle in Miami, they would be the number 1 AFC seed right now. Let's not, the sky is not falling. They beat Kansas City head-to-head. Okay, they had a stinker in Pittsburgh that we know now that Josh Gordon wasn't emotionally or physically ready to play, and they had a miracle loss in Miami. But, John,
Bye.
my gut feeling is they're not going to win the AFC, but the Patriots will end up in the AFC Championship.
Buy, sell, or hold, Drew Brees or Tom Brady will win the Super Bowl.
So you're giving me an option. I don't think New England will. So the question is really, do I think the Saints will win the Super Bowl? Well, let's think about this for a second. We know Sean Payton and Drew are very good. Alvin Kamara. We know that, right? Let's talk defense. The Saints defense leads the league in takeaways and sacks since week 10. Okay. They are also 5-0 at home in the playoffs in the Drew Brees era. So to me, this is a pretty simple one, John.
Bye.
I think New Orleans is the Super Bowl favorite and will win this year's Super Bowl.
Last one, buy, sell, or hold. Jim Harbaugh will be an NFL head coach next season.
Urban Meyer retired yesterday and also said, by the way, I'm not coming back to coach. We'll see about that. There are rumors that Urban Meyer could land at USC in a year or two if they had an opening. I will tell you what I'm told about Jim Harbaugh, that the NFL itch has not completely gone away. He is satisfied right now in Michigan. He brings back a very good team. And I'm also told that with Urban Meyer out, they will be a preseason favorite to win the Big Ten, and he would love to have that on his resume. It is a much greater benefit for Harbaugh to say Big Ten champion got to a playoff. By the way, in his 4 years there, 2 times, he's been in a game against, Ohio State? When he's in the playoff, he went 0-2. It's okay to lose to Ohio State. Urban Meyer lost 9 games in like 8 years. So, John,
Sell.
Jim Harbaugh will remain at Michigan for a year or 2. I do believe over time that he will jettison the program. All right, Rob Parker's around the corner. Odd Couple with Chris Broussard on Fox Sports Radio. He is all fired up. Don't let your age beat you. It is time to refine your prime with M-Drive. It's a daily supplement you should consider. Clinically tested ingredients, increase energy, boost natural testosterone levels, performance, strength, stamina, drive. World-renowned formulator created it for himself over a decade ago to stay active, and he wanted to enjoy his life like he did in his 20s and 30s. Today, thousands of men are part of Team M-Drive. Take a supplement. Walmart, Walgreens, Vitamin Shoppe, Sprouts, GNC. Other retail locations have it. For my listeners, get 20% off an M-Drive purchase. All you got to do, go online, buymdrive.com, promo code HERD. Feel stronger, stamina, drive. Go to buymdrive.com, promo code HERD at checkout. Refine your prime with M-Drive, increased energy, vitality, strength, and stamina. Walgreens, Walmart, Vitamin Shoppe, GNC, or Sprouts.